Well, good morning, good evening, and good day to everybody out there in the world. This is Living in the Verse, and we are playing Occupy Mars the game, and we are continuing from our last episode a little bit forward in time.
Available point for technological advancement. Sleep deprivation warning. Alert.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel tired.
People are good pressure.
I really don't. I feel wide awake. So, in the interest of better frame rate, I decided that, well, since that area over there that we see is it's a little bit close to where, like, when I first came up here, it was where the frame drop kind of happens as the map transitions into other sections as it's being created and rendered in. So I figured, well, let's try and curtail the frame rate issue, and we moved our base a little bit further up the road. I did get a little bit carried away, and as you can see, it's rather large. So what we can do is we'll take a look at it from our map view, so you can kind of get a lay of the land here. You can see we got a big dome, a couple of little domes. We have 2 greenhouses, 2 workshops. We have our HQ hub, and then I believe these are the canteens, and one is the lobby. I believe it's called the lobby. But you can't really build anything in there. You just get your helmets and your backpacks, and although you can pick up your backpack, you can't really do anything with it, at least not yet. But the helmets, though, the helmets make building this building, man, they give you a great advantage, because you can use the helmets. If you get a cracked helmet, you walk in, you swap them out. The only crazy thing is when you look at your guy with his avatar, you'll see I actually have one of the original helmets, but if you put on one of these new helmets, sometimes he'll bug out and it won't show the helmet on his rendering here, his little avatar. So it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it functions fine, even though, you look at it and you're like, holy fuck, dude, where's my helmet at? So, but you don't have to worry. It works just fine. So, in my previous videos, we went jetpacking, and the jetpacking itself is pretty good. It's pretty good. Although we do have our rocket ATV, and there was a mention in the comments. Yes, you know who you are, because there are a very few in number of you out there, and I applaud you. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for your comments, and let me know what else you want to see on this. We are nearing the end game in this playthrough, and I really resist the campaign playthrough, because the campaign in itself is still in its infancy, and I know that Pyramid Games is still working on it as we speak. And in the roadmap view of their website, it does show that they're working on it diligently, and it's going to be some time yet before the entirety of the campaign section is going to be available. So, with that being said, I really don't see myself doing another series on this with the campaign. However, some of the other play modes include difficulty and tech availability, although once you hit a certain point in the gameplay, as you've seen, it ramps up rather fast. I mean, material points, botany points, construction points, and things of that nature, they accumulate rather rapidly once you get going. So, like, leveling up your tech tree is not an issue. Although, doing the scavenger hunt kind of thing and running around finding all the tablets and plants and vegetables and things of that nature that we can utilize here to keep ourselves alive is, I mean, it's got its charm, we'll say, but honestly, there really isn't much left to cover as far as that is concerned. I mean, it does kind of seem that there's a two-dimensional quality about the game in itself right now, because it is so new. They haven't had time to really give us a lot of meat and potatoes, as it were, as far as gameplay goes. And this is not, I would say, it's probably like not your traditional like survivor type thing. There's no NPCs. Like I played Green Hell, and you have natives and animals and stuff that you can deal with, but you know what? You don't have none of that on Mars. And he is certainly not Robinson Crusoe on Mars. So you don't have to worry about no, latent civilization where Friday can hang out with his brethren, and we can discover him and make him part of our mission. So it's just us. We don't have any we don't have any other thing. We don't have anything else really to do as far as content goes. So it is a little bit bland. And that's by no means the fault of the developers. The game is still in its early stages. I venture to say early access, because they don't have nearly all of their planned minutia, as it were, embedded in the game yet. They're still working on it. So, we need to give them a little bit of time to, pump that shit out. So, in the interim, while I'm doing this and throwing out some content here, we can explore a little bit of the greenhouse gameplay, because this really seems to be the last bastion of gameplay available that has any like longevity or variety, as it were. So with that being said, let's go check out and see what I got growing. So as you can see here, I do have 2 workshops stitched together, and they are facilitating plant growth. I got some incubators here, and although in my earlier run in this series, I did make mention that the incubators were maybe not as useful as I had once thought. Although I do think that if you want to skip the incubators, I think it's more than reasonable to assume that you can, go ahead and forego the incubator and just throw your seeds right into these seed beds. For these ones, I have got some beets growing, and I think if it's it's the whole side. This whole side is beets, and I think this whole side is taters. Yep. See, all taters, all beets. So the reason why I got them here and not in the greenhouse itself is because you can take these from seedling to maturity without having to move them. So it's just a convenience thing at that point. Over here we have our We have our greenhouse, and you can see we have, I believe this one is the lettuce, and is this one lettuce too? Yeah. I've got a cabbage one floating around here somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. But if we look in here, no, not that one. It's this one. Yes. And we got the lettuce. They're infant lettuces. Lettuces. And here we have our apple plants, our apple trees. And once these reach to their zenith, as it were, we'll go ahead and throw them down in that second stage, which is, I believe, right here in the middle. And I don't even think I remember putting stuff up above here. No, because I had just started out, and as you're seeing this, it's, you know, it is exactly at its early stages. I mean, I just finished building this, like, maybe not too long ago, and transplanted all the plants I had from the previous greenhouse to here. So what we can do is we take a look over here, and these are the peppers, which I believe I picked these up in the last episode, and I'm not sure if maybe this one I haven't got anything in there yet, but in the big one, which way is it? Nope, it's this way. Alright, yeah, it's getting big, man. It's getting hard to freaking keep my bearings. Those are the oxygen plants over here, and I believe these are fully grown. Yep. And we can get seeds from these, or, you know, we can kind of leave them there for right now, because they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go bad or nothing. And we have our spruce tree, which is fully grown in about 2%, we'll say. I do want to say, and I want to give a reference to, you know who you are, the information on here. For those of you who did not read the comment, if you click in here, or is it in here? I forget. He was saying supply, demand. You could easily I have to read the comment again, but it seems that there is a much easier way to do this than to have to click all the way up or to type it in manually. But I'll have to look that back up real shortly. But I don't want to mislead you anywhere, so it's in the comments. Read it in the comments. In, I think it's the previous episode. Let me double check here real quick in my notes. Let's see. I see it somewhere. You would have to go back. I'm not seeing it. I know it's around and I saw it before, but it would definitely make things a little bit quicker. I mean, I don't mind typing it in, but hey, if you can just double click it and have it show, then, you know, all the better. So, I couldn't say for sure, but you know what? Hey, we will figure it out. We'll figure it out in a little bit. Yeah, maybe in the next episode.
Dehydration detected.
Alrighty. Wrong button. Okay, so yeah, we need to get some water for real. Down one more. So, what to do? Well, I do remember in the comments. Yes, you know who you are. Talking about the circuit boards, and I have actually been on the hunt, off camera, that is, because, you know, let's just face it, running around on a fool's errand across the Martian landscape is not something I would even sit around and do.
Pressure.
I would not watch that. But for crap. There we go.
Pressure.
So for the sake of brevity, I went ahead and I ran across, you know, far and wide to find a broken circuit board so I could show you guys out there what I discovered as far as, how to work it. And I do believe I figured out a way to do it.
Water refilled.
And for those of you out there that do some soldering, you know, either for employment or as a hobby or anything like that, it would be kind of intuitive to know once you look at the workstation and, you know, you take a look at it and you're like, oh, I know what that tool is, or oh man, this is like, you know, that's a piece of cake upside down. So let's go ahead and shut the water off here. Let's walk over to that station here,
pressure.
and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about as far as damn, I don't even know the way around my own place. Nope, it's over here. Is it off the side there? Nope, that's habitation. That's, nope. I don't think this is the yeah, that's the observation deck. And I'm thinking it's got to be over down here. There. Nope, it's the other way. Alright, now that we finally found it. Okay, so now we're looking at our station here. And supposing you do actually find a damaged circuit board. So you're like, well, what the fuck do I do with this? How the hell do I fucking use that? Alright, this is the wrong station. I think it's the wrong station. It's the wrong station. So it's the right station. Alright, so we're looking at our station here. This is our magnifying glass. So like I do a little bit of soldering myself. So I was able to, you know, discern without having to look too deeply into it what I was looking at and what my tools were. So, you know, most of this with some deductive reasoning here. We're gonna take a look. Stop following me. Okay, so here's our components box, and if we look, if you scroll your mouse wheel, you can see over at the magnifying area, it does give you some zoom. Although it's not really much zoom, it's a little bit. And I don't believe I even have, no, I don't even have a circuit board. Let me go grab a circuit board real quick. And do we have anything in here? something in here. Inventory. Nope. Nope. Alright. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just in post, I'll cut to it because I gotta go find one.
Equalizer pressure.
So, alright, is it in here? No. Is it in one of these? No, it's not that one. Is it? Aha! There we go. Alright, so we got a big circuit board and a little circuit board. Alright, cool. So now even through through some experimentation, I haven't been able to successfully like purposely damage one so that I could do this, but we'll try and bang it out a little bit. I have done it before, and it's like I said, unless you're familiar with it, it's not really that intuitive. So we're going to take a look at this circuit board, and we'll push the repair button. Now the first thing that you're going to see is right here is your circuit board in itself. So you got all your components. You have your processors, your programmable integrated circuits, diodes, capacitors, magnets of various types, inputs and outputs, you know, all of that junk. So do you really need to know what all that shit is in order to successfully deal with the component? No, you really don't. Basically, if any of you folks out there in the world remember the memory card game we played in preschool and in like first grade and shit, where you know, the player, they got all the face down cards are all mixed up in a row, and they grid them out, and then the first card you pick up, you got to go find the other card. You pick up another card, and if it's not the card that matches the card that you have, you put it back down, but you got to remember what card was the card you picked up, so when you do eventually pick up that matching card, you know where it's at. So that's the gist. So this functions much like that as well. So you got all of this stuff up here. You just got to remember what component does what in the context of your toolbox, and for the most part it's going to tell you. So we can get our little readout, and it shows all this component technology. It tells you what it is. Oh, this one doesn't have a photo. Huh. So do we need to know what those do? No, we don't. In this area right here where it says bad components, it's going to list what components are bad. And in here, it will highlight it. It'll be, if I remember right, it'll be in red. So you look at it, and then you look over here on the board, and you can point your cursor over any component, and you can see it in your microscope, which basically it's a fucking microscope. So so this right here, it shows our CPU. So say the CPU is bad. Well, we know that it's bad because it'll be in red, and it'll be on your bad components list here. So what you need to do is you go over there, you find your component, and you are able to drag the component off of here. See, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this because I don't have a damaged component, but I can walk you through enough that way when you do encounter a dysfunctional circuit board, you can use this to get to the rest of it. Okay, I know, and I looked, I couldn't find no more broken circuit boards, so here we are. If you hit your WASD keys, you can adjust the orientation of your board 360 degrees, right? Or you can come back from it, or you can move up to it. Now, using your mouse, you can orient your head, in any direction. It's pretty omnidirectional. So getting too close to your project, though, can sometimes make it more difficult than it needs to be. So, experiment as you wish, and you figure out your way. So in the components tray, once you get a bad component, what I did was just, I went back and clicked on the other component, and it kind of vanished on me. So you don't really need to worry about the bad components. They're just gonna, they'll despawn when they need to. So once you get your circuit board fixed, then you can come over here, and you figure out what it is that you want to do next. So now for your tools. All right, so now we got a couple of sets of tools. All right, we have our soldering tool, and then we have our hot air tool. Now, first thing that you're going to need is your hot air tool. Now, we're going to take this component right here, and we're going to take a look at it. Now, if you look right here, if it needs to have solder removed, there's going to be a little green bubble around the soldering joint. Okay, so you're going to come over here with your tool, and you need this tool, your hot air tool. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to desolder the joint. And there's things like this in the world. I mean, I got a couple of different versions of a desoldering tool. You can use braided copper wire to do it. It's treated with flux, I think, to pull all the solder away from the joint, and then you can clean it off. So basically with this tool, that's what you're going to do. And then you'll mouse over it, and when you hit contact, you can see over there in your magnifying glass or microscope, you can see that the tool is touching the joint. Now, when you have an actual damaged part, the joint will have the bubble around it, and you will get a prompt that looks like a bullseye target. And what you're going to do is, with your target there, it'll have three rings, right? It'll have one on the outer side, which is solid, and it'll have one on the inner side, which is like the bullseye, which is solid. And now between those, there'll be a blank area, and when you hold down your left mouse button, right, you're going to notice that in the middle you'll see a ring start from the outside and move inward to your target. Okay, here's what you want to do. It is a little bit of timing and finesse, but what you want to do is you want to release your mouse button in that blank area, like right in the center of it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the center per se, but so long as the area of this circle that's closing into the target is in that non-shaded area, you're going to have a success. And once you have a success, then you're able to move on to the next joint. Now, for this particular component, you'll see it's got four joints. So when you get to your other two, you just flip it around, and then you come in here and you desolder your joints, right? And then once you're done with it, you go ahead and right click, and it'll put your tool back. And then you are able to choose the part, and you click on it, and you pull it off and set it to the side. And then you take that part right there, and you look for a matching part, which is right over here. See, it's a coil type 4. Now, like I said, we don't really need to know what the technical jargon of it all. We don't need to know none of that stuff. Like I said, all it is the match game. It's just you find whatever it is, what it looks like, the coil type 4, And if it looks like that up there, boom, there you go. Coil type 4, because it's not going to be the type 2. It's not going to be the type 5. It ain't going to be the memory chip. Okay. So once you got that, you click on it and you drag it over there and you place it in its area. Once you place it in its area, if I remember right, it'll snap in there, you know, and you'll be like, okay, so now what do I do? Well, you come over here to your soldering gun and you do the same thing. Now, the mini game in itself is the same. You're going to have that bullseye. You're going to have your green bubble, if I remember right, because I only did it once and I was like, damn, you know what? I wish I would have been recording it, because man, it had made a great tutorial, but here we are. So bear with me and just remember, all of this right here is just preparatory work for you to, you know, continue in your own experience with this particular mini game. I'll help as much as I can with, you know, the particulars, but this should get you started. So I know damaged circuit boards are pretty rare in the world. I've only found I think I've only found one, come to think about it, maybe two. But there was a bug that if you pick up the circuit board and you replace it down, it fixes itself. So like I said, they might be meant to be very alliterative, more prevalent in the world than they are, but Pyramid Games and the devs are going to have to figure that one out and maybe fix it and drop it in a patch for us. So back to what I was saying here. So you'll get your prompt here, as you can see over there in the magnifying glass. You'll get the prompt to solder it. And the mini game's the same. It's going to be a bullseye. There'll be 3 areas, and you got to hit the non-shaded area to some degree in order to successfully solder the joint. And then once you get all 4 joints soldered, you'll be completed, and it'll give you information up here that tells you that you have successfully fixed your circuit board. And then once you're done with that, you simply come back here to your back. It drops it into your inventory, and away we go. And that, my friends, is about as much as I can give you without actually having a broken circuit board. If I do find a broken circuit board in my journeys and adventures, I will definitely be sure to make a comprehensive tutorial, or we'll say guide, to demonstrate its repairability in the mini game. So look forward to that. I look forward to finding one.
Oxygen 75%.
I look forward to doing that for you. So thanks for bearing with me in that sidetrack. So what do we do now? Well, I'm thinking, since I really don't have to worry about too much of anything right now, I'm pretty much self-sufficient. I'm self-sustaining. I have all the major components that are necessary for a fruitful existence on the red planet. And that just leaves me with one other thing that I have not actually really kind of showcased. And that, my dear friends, is the rocket-powered ATV. Now, those of us who know, you know, because I know, you know. All right, so we are going to, wait a minute, I've been playing a different game here, and my freaking my fingers are not doing the walking correctly. So, all right, a moment, if we will, on the Rocket ATV. So we all know that we open up the Rocket ATV, the rocket engine, rather early in our playthrough. Well, I say relatively early because, you know, honestly, if you're there fucking, you know, scrapping and, you know, doing all your stuff in, you know, a mad scramble to stay alive, it's pretty quick. We get access to the rocket. So we'll take a look at it real quick. Once you get it, it's pretty easy. It gives you a prompt there to stick it in there. Once it's in there, it does not use any fuel. Here's the thing. It does not use fuel. Now you see we're at 67%, okay, for our battery. Our jet engine is at 0. And if we give it a little jolt with the boost button, okay, it's not going to do anything until we're moving. But you can see you can hold it down until it hits 100%. Once it hits 100%, it's gonna force a cooldown. You cannot reactivate it until it comes down to a level where you can get some juice out of it. So we got 100%. Hold on. See, it's gonna go down to about a little bit below 50. So once it hits the 50 mark, you should be able to reactivate it.
Low carbohydrates.
Oh my God, hungry ass dude. All right. Have a snack. Because, oh shit, you are hungry. All right. So make sure that we're full up on everything. All right. So we got full suit, full belly, full helmet, and full water. Okay. So now, the ATV. We all know that it's fast. We all know that it's dangerous. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah, now we can save. Yeah, because you know what we're going to do. We're going to go Bajan. Okay. Saving right now. All right. So now, we're going to hop on our Juju here. Now, once you get rolling, you can use that jet engine. Now, here's something that I found out that some of you might know, some of you may not know. If you just use the jet engine as your propulsion, it doesn't use your battery. It uses no energy at all. So we can just come on out here and drive. So we'll do it this way. See, we're at 67% now. All right. So we'll take a drive, and we'll go and check out that mountain over there. That should burn up at least 1 or 2% normally. We'll see if we can not kill ourselves in the process. I go around and do a little bit of scavenging here, but I pretty much scavenged everything around this place for at least 2 kilometers out. Yes, I did say 2 kilometers. So, jetpacking, definitely worth it. If you manage it right, it can be a hell of an asset. So, here we are. We're just buzzing right along, and I'll take the jetpack thing here. We'll take a look at that in a second. So there's a place over here. We'll see. I might have forgot one. Alright. So let's take a look. See, 67% still. Okay, in order to get it going, you do have to at least get your quad rolling before you use your jet. But once it's rolling, you just pulse your jet, man. Oh my God. You'll get moving so fast, it'll be scary. And although your guy does hold on for dear life, he will crack his face. And I've done that several times. So, be careful. Save often. Just remember, if you do a quick save with your F5 button, and a quick load is the F6 button. So, yeah. lost my train of thought there. So we're coming up here on our little loot spot. Let's see if we can actually make it up this mountain. We should be able to. Look at that. There we go. So we'll take a stop. 66. Oh, dude. Oh, it could have been. Maybe it was a bug. Hey, I drove for like 1,500 meters, man, with like 5%, and it never went anywhere. But using, well, we only lost 1%. So I think it bears further investigation. But I do remember going a really, really long way. Like, it was like 1,500 meters. And I didn't use no energy off my battery. It was just the jet engine. Of course, it was kind of in a straight line. Maybe it was the steering. Who knows? You wouldn't think steering would use up juice, but you know, you never know. Yeah, see, I done cleaned. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't clean all this shit out. Did it respawn? No, it was a coffee cup. No. I don't think this shit respawns. I've never seen it respawn before. And believe me, I've been through a ton of these things. I've been out almost 3 kilometers, and it's just, you know, the things that they've been saying about the map, how it's what's it called? Damn it. It's well, you know what I mean. It's yeah, it's gonna drive me nuts now. The way it's created, it's you know, it's perpetual. It doesn't ever just like loop around on itself. It's not an actual planet. So you can literally just go on and on and on and on, and you know, you're not going to fall off the world, and you're not going to loop back around to where you came from, because let's face it, like from you know, the planet in itself is 1/6 the size of Earth. So, well, not 1/6 the size of Earth. It's just like maybe, no, it's, what is it? Maybe like a quarter, because the moon is 1/6. That's what I'm thinking of. But Mars in itself is maybe a quarter less the size of the Earth. In either case, it's still a really, really big place. And yeah, I don't think your guy's gonna want to circumvent that, no matter how much shit you can mine. And the way the map is created, just it doesn't allow for that. So here we go. We'll go back and we'll see. So once we get moving, yeah, we can definitely do some freaking Bahan. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Getting squirrely. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, with the gravity being the way that it is, oh my goodness. It's yeah, it's a freaking miracle this guy can even stay on the bike the way that it is. Oh God. So, oh, wait a minute, 66%. Yeah, see, I'm thinking it's just using it to brake and to accelerate enough to get going. I think that's all that really you use the battery for while you're using the jet. Because I know the jet, man, dude, I've gone ridiculous amounts of distance on like you know, 5, 10, 15% on my battery, dude, and never used it at all. Never used it up. And let's face it, if you're going, you know, pell-mell, you burn that battery up pretty quick. Well, see, still 66%. Bleh. I can talk. So, I mean, the jet bike, it's pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. And it's great and all before you get your jetpack, but once you have the jetpack, it's pretty much obsolete. The most I have used it for thus far is just around the compound. That's it. It doesn't really get much use aside from that. Should it have any more use than what it does after you get the jetpack? I don't know. I'll leave that for you to decide. Me personally, I say once you get the jetpack, it's a golf cart. It becomes your golf cart. That's just it. That's all it does. That's all it works for me. But it works pretty good in that regard. And you know, I don't really want to be using my jetpack just to traverse distance back and forth from my old compound to the new one. And the rover in itself, you know, is just like ridiculously slow. So that is what it is. Wait a minute. Am I even going in the... I gotta be going in the right direction. Am I going in the right direction? God damn it. Okay, what are we looking at here? So 66%. See what I mean? I don't even have the flashlight going. Let's take a look at our map here. There's oh, okay, it is the red. Yeah, it's the red one. Oh, we were going totally the wrong way. So, there it is. So, here's Home Sweet Mars. And we made it to our destination and back. And with like, we'll say 2% of fuel in our battery. So I think maybe in the future they might give us a readout for the methane and oxygen and just run this jet on a methalock system, or if it's, you know, just one of the magical things. So I guess that'll just be what it is when it is what it is. One of the things I did kind of wonder is if the star field is an actual representation of the hold on. Another thing, if you're using your jet, you can't it won't let you brake, right? Unless you tap forward, like the go button. Once your jet gets going and you want to stop, if you hit the brakes and you're like, oh shit, I can't stop, just hit the forward button a couple of times to re-engage the electrical motor and then try and brake. You should be all good. Further, with the vehicles like the Rover and the bike, they do have handbrakes, which you can find in the options here. If we go to controls under vehicles, and we'll look down here, see braking, steering, there is a handbrake. It's the space bar. So, and it has a horn, although why it has a horn I don't know, because realistically sound travels really different on Mars because the atmosphere that it does have. It's not like ours. It doesn't carry sound the same way. So And then it does have cruise control, which is the C button. I've never used that, so I can't speak to it. However, go ahead and check these out. I have a HOTAS set up. So if you look like right over here, this is my HOTAS setup, and it works. The downside is currently it only supports one side of your HOTAS. So if you have if you have a throttle set up with a yoke, you gotta choose which one are you gonna use. Are you a righty or are you a lefty? You know, I mean, I've got a T1600 HOTAS set up, so I could, you know, I use my steering for my throttle side.
Available point for technological advancement.
For doing what? I was just sitting here, and you're gonna give me a point for tech? Okay. See what I mean about leveling up? Man, it's like effortless. You don't even really have to do anything. Just, you know, drive around and you're cool. You're good to go. So, what was I saying? Oh, about the controls. So, like with my HOTAS setup, dude, I got a gaggle of buttons, and I thought it would be kind of cool to be able to drive this stuff around with my throttle side, or control the crane as though it were an actual, you know, piece of heavy equipment with the joysticks and things of that nature that you would find in a front end loader, or, you know, an excavator of some kind. Excuse me. So I went in there and I started fiddling around with it and found that, well, it only supports one type of controller on that control line. However, if you have Joy to Key, which is a piece of software you can get for free, I'll try and remember to throw down a link to the website in the description. But you could probably use that, because all it does is mirror the keyboard, and since this is primarily a keyboard-driven interface system, I would imagine that you'd probably have some success utilizing that piece of software with your HOTAS if you so wished, or, you know, even just rebind all your keys to different shit to make it a little bit more user-friendly for you. So, we're going on about 18 minutes. Man, this is kind of short. So that is in as much detail as I can really think to put it in. The your rover, or not your rover, but your rocket bike, we'll call it. As one of the things that you really can't do with your vehicles is you can't dismantle them. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. You can't scrap them. We'll say that. You can't scrap your vehicles. Oh, okay. So it does work. Nice. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. Spacebar is a handbrake. Okay, so, and that works with your rover and your bike. I would imagine it would work for your dirt bike that we will be getting at some point in time in the future, and the pickup truck, which hopefully will be coming at the end quarter of this year, or the early first quarter of next year. Now, one of the things I want to share with you here is these. Now you can see I got two more ATVs. Why you ask? Do you have two ATVs, Verse? Well, this is just the thing. Experimentation and alliteration. I've got this one, and this one. So if one breaks, or, you know, whatever, what have you, I need an extra freaking circuit board or whatnot, and, you know, I done spent them all because I wasn't paying attention. One of these will have a small circuit board in it that I can borrow, and then just, you know, I'll park it somewhere and pull the circuitry. Now, what happened was is I built those for that purpose, and as you can see, it's in there, right? Prego, it's in there. So if you can hear that, I'm trying to remove, and I cannot remove the circuit board, right? Oh, wrong one. F. All right, so I try and enter it. I can't enter it. This one is completely broken. It's bugged out, and it has been for quite some time. And then I was like, well, shit, dude, I needed the circuit board. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'll bring my other one over here. So I brought my other one, which was, you know, it was actually buried in the, if I remember right, it was the one that was buried in the crusher, which I don't know if that was, did I film that? I had to have. If it is, let me know in the comments if you saw that. Let me know, because I don't remember. And now I get it. When they say that, it's like, why wouldn't you remember? You filmed that shit, dude. Just look back in your archive in your library. But you know what? Hey, such is the way things are when you're doing this. I guess I have learned that, yeah, it gets that way. I don't remember if I did that, and I don't really want to look through all the videos right now to kind of look for it. So if you saw it and you remember it, hey, leave a post in the comments or something. That way I know. But I do remember that one of these, I don't think it was that one, but one of these was stuck in the big rock crusher, because I made the mistake of building it on the rock crusher, and then as soon as it was assembled, it disappeared. And then I was like, well, fuck me running. Now I had to build another one, which that was this one. So maybe it was this one. So as you can see, this one, I can't get into this one either. It's completely busted, and I think it might, well, it's not because of proximity, because this one's parked, and even though I can, you know, I can hop on this one and hop back off, and it's fine. It doesn't do anything. But these two right here, huh? You ever notice that kind of looks like a face? There's an eyeball, and a big old grin, right? And there's his ears with the handlebars. So you can't get back on the bike. I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't really think, hold on. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this first, because I'm probably just going to blow all of this shit up. And it's just going to be, you know, it's going to be a Freudian fucking nightmare, or a Greek tragedy. So, wait a minute. All right. So we got 3. Okay, look, see, the airlock is good. Okay, I'll come over here. I can't do any. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, so we got the ATV. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I know what's going to happen.
Pressure drop detected.
Yep.
Helmet leak detected. Alert.
Yes, I know.
Condition.
I know.
Oxygen depleted. Low power. Hydration critical.
See, and it fucking killed me.
Radiation detected.
Motherfucker. All right, I'm going to skip past this. You don't want to wait 5 minutes for it to fucking reload. Okay, we'll do the official website here. There we go. All right. Here is the pyramid website for Occupy Mars. And if we look up here, we have the roadmap. And we can see all the stuff that they're working on here. I just want to give a brief overview of this real quick. We can see all the different quarters that they're working on stuff. The decoration system started in Q3 of 2022 and will be finishing work in 2023 Q4. So probably at the end of the year we'll get the rest of the decoration system in. The controller support all the way at Q4. Other things, the tutorial mission, which is should be finishing probably in the next maybe next month or two, I would say, before Q4. They have other things coming on. The story continuation, co-op mode, which I'm really looking forward to. Down here, the kilopower reactor in Q3. Rockets, looking like they got long work on rockets, and that should be finishing up at the start of Q4. The motocross vehicle in Q4. The spotty robot, which is the what is it, the Boston Dynamic analog, in Q1 of 2024, and the pickup truck also in Q1 of 2024. And then we have our drone rover, which I don't know if that's going to give us the ability to remotely control our rover, which it kind of seems like that's what that might be. And then we have additional tech to be determined. We have additional tech, the turbines, wind turbines, which, okay, it's wind turbines on Mars. Well, those of us who know, Mars wind, yeah, it's not that strong. But, hey, whatever. The heavy suit, which I don't know what that might be used for, but, okay. We got a heavy suit coming. Improved workbenches, the internal workshop battery, additional furniture, which is nice. Vertical construction, we might be able to stack buildings and have upstairs and downstairs accessibility. These two things right here, the chem lab and the online co-op, are two of the things I'm really kind of looking forward to. So this is just kind of a short overview to let you know that they are working on shit still, and we have still stuff to come. So be on the lookout for that. I certainly will. All right. Quick load my ass.
Sleep deprivation warning.
Yeah. Okay.
Alert.
Sleep deprivation. Yeah, okay. Whatever. So, yeah. I'm not looking forward to doing that at any time sooner or later again. So yeah. Destroying your ATV, not a good idea. But it doesn't correct the problem. So like they're bugged out. I can't really do anything with them. I tried running them over with my rover. That didn't end well either. It blew me up. So so now you're like, okay, what to do? Well, we can go over a couple of things that I've learned thus far. For starters, you'll notice that I'm always in threat of the sleep deprivation notification. I have seen in other content creators ask this question: Does staying up too late past your bedtime have any adverse effects on performance of your character? And from what I found, there isn't any. On some of these exploratory missions around the frozen wastelands of Mars, I haven't found any ill or adverse effects to performance as far as calorie intake, oxygen and water usage due to sleep deprivation. He functions without any ill effects. So this has gone for, like, I think the biggest stretch I've had him up before I've put him to bed is maybe like 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. And maybe he's got some secret squirrel shit we don't know about. But joking aside, The only thing that I can really recommend is, as far as the sleep deprivation thing goes, it is a good way to remind yourself to save regularly. And since it automatically saves when you wake up,
Dehydration detected.
yeah, it automatically saves when you wake up from sleep. My recommendation is to do it often. I mean, you don't have to like do it like every single rotation of a saw, but definitely use your quick save, which is done by F5. And in my game, I've noticed that the quick load is kind of a hit or miss. So sometimes it will sometimes it'll load, sometimes it'll bug out, and it'll just go into like an infinite loading screen, and you know, you'll have to use your taskmaster to kill the operation so you can restart your game, or just Alt F4. What else? Learning about some of the little exploits. You can see right here, I've got I've got my transformers here, my ECUs, and inside such ECUs are a circuit board. Now, this is a small circuit board, and what you can do to cheese it a little bit if you're short is you construct one with a circuit board. Say if you need one, you go and get one from an already existing piece of tech, and you build it, and then you pull the circuit, you open this up, and you pull your circuit board out, and you put it into your inventory, and then you scrap it. And then with that, you build another one, and then it'll have a circuit board in it already, which is the one that you use. So you take that one out and you put it in your inventory, and then you have one more circuit board. And you can keep doing this. You know, as you can see, I've already done this just as an example here. So you can kind of cheese it and get your circuit boards. Now, my assertion is this: since you can come over here, and I'm thinking there is a spot. Is there a spot here? I don't remember if there's one on this, because this uses a big circuit board. And if there is a port where you can get the circuit board, nope. I don't see one. So you might not be able to do it with this. But any of the structures that have a port where the circuit board is, if you pull the circuit board and you deconstruct it, odds are when you reconstruct it, you can increase the number of circuit boards gained from said object by 1. And then, you know, you rinse and repeat, and you can slowly replenish your cache of circuit boards attributed to the object. One of the other things that I found is there is a bug with your cargo container. Now, if you come over here, I'll go ahead and just drive over there and show you what I discovered the hard way. A quick note: if you'll notice, you see that sharp turn I'm making with the rover. You'll notice if you try and turn just regular as you're going, you don't get that sharp turn. But if you're rolling at a good clip and you hit your S button while you're turning, just tap it, right? You'll allow the wheels to get a sharper angle on a turn, right? So just a little FYI, something I found out that works rather good. You know, because the turning radius on this sucks ass. All right, so we're taking a look here, and if we look at our semi-trailers, we see
Oxygen,
we
50%.
can, in fact, put our cargo container away. Now, one of the things that I found is if you have your semi-trailer in your inventory, we can manage it, okay? And because I've already got this quick saved, I'll show you. Once this is put away in stock, and everything is back to its default position. Okay, so now once you have your trailer inside there, you should be able to take your trailer and you click on it and it'll bring up this manage button, and you see that the container has its inventory, which is quite extensive. And believe me, if you're running around doing loot missions, my recommendation is definitely take the trailer. So we have all of this stuff, and say we want to move our base around, okay, and you know we want to be able to take all of this stuff in one shot and tear this structure down. So we're going to take our inventory and we switch it. Okay, now watch, this is probably going to turn me into a liar, but it's a bug, so just letting you know. So now we have all of this in our inventory. Okay, so now we're going to take our inventory, we're going to put it back and apply it. Now, one of the things that I have found is that once doing so, if you have other things, like we'll throw our you know what, we'll do it this way. We have our inventory for our trailer. Now we should get a prompt for our trailer that has inventory, even though it's okay, even though it's on there and it shows that it's on there. Okay, we'll come over here. We should be able to see it doesn't have it up there, and in one of my playthroughs it had a prompt for the trailer, and you could switch between the container itself and the trailer. So once you did, you could come over here. We could come over here. You know, watch out for the rock crusher, because it will kill you, right? So you can see all of this stuff is in here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show this. So all I'm saying is just, you know, be a little bit careful. Okay, see, there it is, right? There should be an inventory in there so that you can manage it, right? Now, when I've tried to do this before, it bugs out, so it'll show an empty container. Now, if you're doing this, there's definitely ways to maximize your inventory and looting and such, that you can swap things back and forth. So what I'm saying is before you go to do that, make sure you quick save it, just in case, because it has been known to bug out on me, and it may bug out on you as well. And to alleviate any frustration or, you know, rage quitting, what have you, just make sure you save before you go swapping stuff around. So now we got our player container and our semi trailers, and so we should be able to, oh, see, there it goes. Look at that. It's now empty, and I swapped it from one to the other. So our inventory Oh, see, now it's going to do it. You see the container, the printer container. So let's go over here and try this real quick. Container. Okay. So we got the printer container. Now we should be able to manage that. Now see, look, it turned me into a liar, but it has happened. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. So let's put this stuff back to our resource. And since we really don't need that container right now, we can just leave it in there. Anything else? I really don't know. The thing I found with the tanks. Oh boy. These tanks over here, the large tanks, do not have any readout on them for how much they contain. Furthermore, the things that I have seen is if you go over here, it should tell you how much is in there, but it don't. It never says how much is stored. And even though this is not necessarily a sovereign unit, if you attach the tanks from the saboteur extension for your methane and your oxygen, so you have your methalox, it does show that. But if you put an external tank on there, either this one or the upright tank, it don't show. However, though, if you do want to know, you simply pull out your radar and you just left click on it, and it'll show you what's in there, the structure, contents. We go over here, look at the water. So currently the water is at 6 units out of 50,000. This one I think is, oh yeah, look at that. It's full. I don't really have to worry about water. You can see the way I've got it all daisy chained together. So eventually this one will fill up, and once it's full, it'll fill this one up, and then so on and so forth until they're all full up. But the amount of water that I use for this arboretum here, it's never filled up. I've weighted it out and tested it, and it doesn't. It's just, I use enough to keep it pretty much stable there. So you can see I did some pretty extensive work putting this together so that I had this to show you. I try and keep my cable work nice and neat. That way I know where everything is going. The thing with the battery packs, you can only put 5 of these extensions on there before it won't let you do anymore. So that's why I got so many. I'm pretty good in a dust storm situation where my solar panels tend to flake out because they got dust and shit on them. But it doesn't last long, even though there's a lot of battery and there is a lot of juice production here. You can see I'm pulling max, but once it goes nighttime, man, it sucks it pretty much dry. It does last throughout the night though, and you know, like I say, it's better to have too much than not enough, or it's better to have it and not need it. You know the rest. So I got all this kind of daisy chained together. It'll be nice once we get the extensions for these, instead of having to do the daisy chain. So I got one in. I got one going in, and then I'm thinking we could probably get a better look at it here. Where's it at? Where is it? There it is. Okay, you can see I've got them daisy chained together just like the other ones. Now, technically, like these 2 outlets right here, you don't necessarily need. You could probably put them here, but since there are, in fact, 4 of them going out, I needed all the extra. So this is the way that I have it, is just daisy chained together, and that works out really well. And this, Man, I keep doing that now. This is my power, my ECU, which just, if you just have it running to one building that's connected to the structure, you don't need to connect it in several different places, which is something that I found out just through trial and error. The water I have just more or less for aesthetics than functionality, because technically you only need one in, and it'll supply the whole building. You know, pretty much like in real life for most like big structures, you got your main line in, and that's really all you need. And you break it up into whatever else you need on the interior. Another thing that I think is kind of efficient and definitely worth doing when you're building your structures is sovereign. Oh, excuse me. I think I'm coming down with something here. Is a sovereign power unit for your external or your peripheral buildings. Like this right here, I've got. This is completely independent of any other power source. It runs just the crusher. I have enough wattage here to power the unit and then some, and then enough for storage. So you can see that I got 42 going in because I have the upgraded solar panels, and only 30 going out. It's like, okay, it pretty much it remains constant. Damn it, there we go again with the freaking the item wheel. The tower here. Okay, so one of the things with the tower that we can kind of take a look at is one of the things I've seen is people asking, what the hell is the tower for? I'm thinking it's probably your drone distance. This is the functional range of your drone. Oh look, it's a freaking question mark. I have no idea what those are for. They don't signify tablets. There have been no other points of interest, I guess, that I've seen that are equated to them. So maybe it's something that has yet to appear. Because, like, honestly, the only things that are around here are those other two derelict bases. Like this one right here behind. I think, is it still behind there? Or did I tear it down? No, I tore it down. Just the derelict bases. So, back to this. I'm thinking, do I have those in my inventory? No. Okay. So, what we can do is, I'll go grab my drone copter, my little Ingenuity, and we'll just test it out, because, you know, it's not like it's a really long distance, and we'll test it out together here and see if that is in fact what it is. I think it's in the rover. Is it in the rover? No, it's not in there. You know what? I think I did. I think I stuck it in the rover. So we'll go over here to the rover and see in the inventory if I have my my little Ingenuity chopper, and we'll test this out right now and see if in fact it is the controller range for the drone. And yep, there it is. All right, we'll put that in there, and we'll put that in there. Let's go ahead and we'll swap that out. Don't matter. Okay, so all right. So here's what we do with the drone. Okay, take your Ingenuity. We'll put it in number 1, and put that in number 2. Okay, so with the Ingenuity, we go ahead and we will place it on the ground, step back, And now we have our drone copter. So now, let's see if I can remember how to do this. Is it? Nope. What was it? Drones. Okay, there we go. So now we got. All right. And then we use the jump button to go up. We use the shift button to land. And then, of course, your forward, backward, left, right is your orientation. Now, so we can jump and we can go. Oh, oh no. Okay. So we got the drone. Whoa. All right. So we are going to land it. Okay, we're gonna land it. Okay, so now I know there's a way to toggle the view for this. I can't remember. Hold on. Go to options, go to controls, go to vehicles, come all the way down here to helicopter. All right, so here are the controls. EQ is to rotate or to yaw. You have your pitch. So we got pitch, yaw, and roll. So since we can't roll, your roll would probably be E and Q. Your pitch is S and W, and your yaw is A and D. Engine increase is space, shift, and then we change our view with tab. All right, so let's tab it. There we go. And we have a view. And then we have our view. And then we have our view. Okay. So let's go up. And then this is, if you use your V button, we have the actual view of the camera. And oh, come on. There we go. Drones. Whoa. So now, let's see. Since there's our tower or transmitter, and we're just going to pick a direction and go. And we'll see just how far we can go. This might take a minute, so Mm. Mm. I lost my drone. Yeah.
Warning.
Mm. All right. Okay.
Low carbohydrates.
Well, look at that. It does seem that we have remote control over the arm. I don't see how to do the okay, the Z button, X button, what about C? V does the camera angle. But it seems that our Intrepid drone is MIA. So I really can't say for sure. Probably should have made note of which direction I was going because, well, yeah. Let's see if we can kind of come over here real quick and pick it back up. I'm pretty sure this is the direction I went. Alright, so that should be good enough. And we got the drone. Nope. Nope. There we go. Nope. So is it? Nope. That drone is definitely out of range, so I'm thinking that, yeah, that tower, the tower is the drone's range. So we can take a look at the radar. Wait a minute, is this it over here? No. That's water. I'm almost certain I didn't go that far out. So we got, okay, that's us with our motorbike. And we definitely went far enough out where this right here, this ring, was not our terminus. Okay. I'm thinking that it's this right here. So we're gonna mark that and we'll track it with the yellow. Okay.
Low carbohydrates.
Oh god, carbohydrates, dude. You're hungry ass. Okay, so we want O2. We'll give that. Okay. Alright. So we marked it with the yellow. And we're gonna see if we can find this drone real quick. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the direction that we went. And we'll see. We might have destroyed the drone. So if it fell too far, it's altogether possible. I'm thinking that might have been what happened. So we'll come over here
Suit
and
power 75%.
that's nice. So we'll come over here and we'll check it out while we're bugging out with our frames. And if it's not, then it's not. And it's looking like it's not. It just might be a water spot. So although, yeah, see, it's just a water spot. So instead of it being useful in any meaningful kind of way, it could just be, oh yeah, see, I'm not getting any signal from anything. So that's actually pretty telling. Let's take a look at where we are in relation to where we were. So, okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. This tower right here, that is the that's the limit of your drone control. I'm thinking that is a fairly decent. What is this over here? I'm thinking that that's what that is. So your drone, your towers, that's your radio control. That's your transmitting power for your drones. That's all that is. So the more the more of those towers you set up, the further range your drone is going to have. So there it is there. Let me know in the comments if you find that this is not the case, although I'm pretty sure that it is. But I am certainly not married to that way of thinking. And if it is different, I would much enjoy hearing about that information. And hey, the more you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're just going to come over here and we're going to jump back up on our ATV. And oh, we can't manually check the lights, huh? What a bummer. So we'll go back and try not to die. They're doing the donuts on Mars. Whoa. Yeah. So I'm thinking probably what will happen is if we did actually get close to the drone, then we would probably be able to pick it up and recover it. If it wasn't destroyed, mind you, if it wasn't destroyed. Let's see if we can get on some air. Yeah, crater jumping. Good landing. Woohoo! Look at that. That was pretty sick, don't you think? All right, so enough of that. We're gonna wind up getting our face smashed. We just take it nice and leisurely, maybe.
Dehydration detected.
Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there. Just chill out. I'm not the Master Chief, you know. So, this has been a rather, well, informational but uneventful episode, and I certainly enjoy you joining me. Look forward to seeing more comments. Thank you very much for your viewership, and hope to see more faces show up in the sorry, I lost my train of thought. I very much appreciate the viewers that I have. I would like to increase that number, so if you would like, share, subscribe, and spread the word. Let me know how I'm doing. If I'm doing well, if you want more, let me know. I will be covering other games as well, because this one is, although it is fun and I definitely enjoy romping around the Martian atmosphere, it's quickly running out of content to cover, and I find little more than informational stuff and tutorials that I can really do with it at this point, because there's no missions per se, there's no extra content to think of, and other than building like super mega structures that would probably kill my graphics card, I really can't think of anything else to do with it. So I will venture to see what else I can do and what more information I can lend you as it comes along down the pipeline. I would not say that this is the end of the series, only that it is perhaps a hiatus until such time as they drop another patch, which I will cover in gross detail as much as I'm able to anyway. We could probably go and look for more seeds. We could do more scrapping and things of that nature, but really, to what avail? I found all the abandoned tablets that are available in game currently, and aside from the toys, the only one we haven't covered is the one that they have not yet put in the game. So with the mechanics, the things that we have, we've pretty much covered. The radio, we might do the radio because I haven't really seen anything to do with the radio itself. It does say that you can upload and select the music played. We might take a look at that. The controller, we are able to control the vehicles. We looked at the drone, the grinder and the drill. We looked at the detonator. Yes, that one is doing rather well. The science bench, the customization stuff's pretty straightforward. The rover in itself we've looked at. The jetpack, we did that last episode. The ATV rocket engine, we're doing that this episode. We're still waiting on Spotty and any upgrades that he might have. Antenna remote control. So software updated to extend remote control range with the antenna system. Well, there it is there. So there's confirmation. And space for robots. Space what robots? Yes, it says working in progress. Oh, space for robots. Okay. Automated drilling, which I don't know about all of that. I don't think I would ever use that, more because I found a way to do blast mining, and that is so much more efficient than using any other mechanism to mine rocks and ore. So yeah, that the all-terrain vehicle, this would be nice, bigger inventory. Oh my goodness. The ATV, the motorcycle, when it comes available, I'll definitely be covering these things in more detail. The pickup truck, and that's pretty much it as far as stuff goes. The things that we were looking at, like the pump station extension, fast travel would be nice. Although I don't really see I really don't see a use for it right now, considering the way that the map is. It's I still can't remember how it's called. It's the way that it's made is it kind of limits that. Automatic solar panel cleaning, that would be nice. Solar panels 3. And of course the uranium rod and the kilopower reactor is basically an what is it called, an RTG. They really don't have much more for botany. I don't think they pretty much got this all covered with the exception of customization. Although, what customization could you possibly have with it? I would love to see that. The only other thing that I'm going to wait for is like this right here. is the chemistry, because that's when things are going to get really, really interesting as far as what we can build and how it's going to change the game, along with whatever else they might implement. So I think we're going to call it for there, and I just want to say thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your viewership, and join me again when I do another upload. And as far as what other games I will be covering, I just got a new game, and it is Stranded, Mars Dawn, Alien Dawn. Yeah, Mars Dawn. It's called Stranded, Alien Dawn, and it looks pretty cool, so I'm probably going to throw up a series on that. But as far as Occupy Mars goes, I might put up some more subsequent videos here and there, but I want to try and do a little bit more with Star Citizen and this new game. I'll probably cover first before I do any Star Citizen stuff, because, you know, Star Citizen, of course, is still working out the kinks in their shit, and you know, there's really not much to do there either, except, you know, feature showcase, which I can definitely do. So thanks again for joining me. This has been Occupy Mars, the game, and we are living in the verse. And as I always say, stay living in the verse and be healthy, happy, and safe out there in the world, and have a good day. Thank you.